Hey, 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 fam bam. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it is Friday morning, and me and Doggy are out for our walk. And yes, it is cold here in Columbus. I have on my cute purple winter coat with my hood on and my gloves. So, me and Doggy are out today, and I just wanted to talk to you guys while we're out walking. But before I get started, before I get into it, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that wonderful stuff. Follow. And go back and watch some of our videos, guys. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of the fam bam. So join us. Yay! All right, guys. So today I want to talk about why people think that I'm faking and being legally blind. People actually think that. Like, who would really want to pretend that they can't see well enough to drive? I mean, come on now. I would love to be able to jump in my car and go anywhere I want to go without having to ask anybody for transportation, without having to pay somebody else gas money when I could be putting gas in my own car, without having to feel used by people because they know that I need their help. Like, come on, man. It's a lot that goes on with being legally blind that I would love to be able to avoid if I could. So, if you see me looking down, I'm just watching Princess. So I can make sure to the best of my ability that she doesn't eat anything. If she's sniffing for too long, then I assume she's eating something and I just pull her away. But yeah, so yeah, who wants to pretend that? Hold on, y'all. Let me show you Princess. Say hey, hey, doggy. Princess is nice and bundled up. She's got on her nice furry one-piece outfit. It covers all four of her legs, and then up under it she has on, and it's pink, and then up under it she has on a cute little pink jacket, which is actually that spoiled princess jacket that she was wearing that you guys saw in her last debut video. But yeah, she's nice and warm. I'm nice and warm. It's about 30 degrees here in Columbus, and yep, we're getting our walk on. All right. So back to the conversation. So yeah, I would never want to fake something like this. Like, it's not the life to choose to live, you know? Like, anybody who would want to fake being disabled or having a disability, there's something wrong with that person, because it's not anything fun. It's not anything to joke about. It's tough not being able to do what everybody else can do, you know? So yes, I am legally blind, and there is a difference between being totally blind and legally blind. A lot of people that think that I don't look blind, so how can I be blind? Just like right now. Hey, my son's leaving, going for work. He knows I'm recording, so he just waved. But I know he saw the camera, so I seen his little face poking out the window, so I know he was saying bye. Yeah, so I already told him have a good day and all that wonderful stuff, so I didn't have to say too much. And we all prayed together this morning, so he's good to go. So yeah, this is not something that's fun to do. And like I said, people don't think I look legally blind. So sometimes people assume that I'm faking. Like, now, look at me. I'm out walking my dog. I don't have a cane. I don't have my sunglasses on, which sometimes would is like kind of a giveaway to people, like, oh, there's no sun outside and she doesn't have sunglasses on or anything. So it's like, it's certain things that people expect to see if you are blind or legally blind. But they don't know, man. Us visually impaired people, we got skills, okay? We can get out here and walk. We can get out here and do stuff. And people think that, you know, blind people are helpless. But I know plenty of blind people that can do more than I can do, to be honest. So, you know, don't think down on blind people, because they're amazing people. And the way that blind people persevere all the time, it amazes even me. And I'm one of them. So, you know, but because you don't look blind, they tend to treat you like you're faking. One of the biggest things that bothers me is when I'm with sighted people, because I get around so well, sometimes they forget that I can't see, and they'll be done left me behind, especially like if I'm with a group of people, everybody's talking, everybody's communicating and things like that, and they get so lost in their conversation that they're talking and, you know, they forget, oh yeah. And I have to say, hey, you guys, hold on, wait up. I'm trying to catch up because I can't see that well. And I know I don't look like it, but, you know, that's my life. You know, I even had an issue walking my dog one day. Now, my dog is little. And sometimes when she poops, I sometimes cannot find her poop after she poops. Even if I take the bag, like I have a poop bag right now, and if she poops somewhere, like in someone's grass, I never allow her to poop in someone's yard, but in the grass, like right here, that's close to the street, she'll poop and pee in that grass. We don't go in people's yard. But, you know, it's tough sometimes when she poops and I go to look for her poop, and sometimes I can't find it, you know. And sometimes even when she squats down to poop, she doesn't always poop, you know. So it's tough. That's something that I have to still learn how to master. Like, okay, if my dog poops sometimes, how can I find it? Now, sometimes if I'm really paying attention to where her little butt is squatted down at, as soon as she moves, I can kind of put my hand, you know, inside the bag where her butt is. And then sometimes I find her poop that way, but sometimes I don't find it. And one day, my dog pooped in the grass, and I had no idea where her poop was, like, had no idea. So this lady comes out of her house, and so actually I had went on walking down the street, and it was like a cul-de-sac. It was a cul-de-sac street that, you know, you go all the way around the street. It's not like, you know, a street that has a corner. You just go all the way around and go back to where you came from on the other side. So I'm walking. I couldn't find her poop, so we kind of kept going. We're walking. And I'm like, well, at least it's not in someone's yard, you know. Hopefully, if she did poop, I'm not even sure if she did, but if she did, hopefully, you know, it won't be an issue. So we're walking around. I come back on the other side of the street, and this lady is outside of her house, and she says, would you like a bag for the poop? And first of all, I didn't even know who the lady was. I didn't even know what house she pooped in front of at this point. It's not like I looked at the house and said, oh, okay, well, she's pooping in front of this house. You know, I wasn't really paying attention. So I didn't understand what the lady was talking about. So she said, would you like a bag for the poop? So I'm thinking that she's just asking me, would I like a bag? You know, just offering me a bag because I have a dog. And so I was like, oh, sure, thank you, you know. So I went over there and got the bag from her, and she said, the poop is over there somewhere. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm legally blind, and I really am unable to find where she pooped at. At this point, I definitely don't know where she pooped. I didn't even know she pooped in front of your house. And she was like, "Oh, ma'am," like one of them, yeah, right kind of laughs. Like I was just lying to the lady, right? So I'm actually getting ready to pass the house right now. So, so I go over there and I get down, I don't actually get on my knees, but I squat down to look closely at the grass and I didn't see anything. So I'm like, oh man, I don't see this dog's poop, So I continue to walk and I hear her fussing inside of her house and I'm like, oh man, it's not like I purposely was like, oh man, forget her. My dog can poop in her grass. It wasn't like that. It was just like, man, I can't find it. And she didn't believe, come on, because I don't want to be in front of this lady's house. She didn't believe that I was visually impaired when I told her that I was legally blind. Because, of course, I don't look like it. I'm not walking around with a cane. I don't have dark shades on. When it's summertime, when it's warm outside, and this girl just be determined to go in this lady's yard, but I don't want any problems. So I try not to even stop at her house because I genuinely, I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck or, trying to, oh, my dog can poop in your yard, forget you, or poop in your grass in front of your house, forget you, But I think she took it like, come on, are we crossing the street? I think she took it like I was being, stubborn about picking up my dog's poop when that really was not the case. So a lot of times when I tell people that I'm visually impaired or legally blind, some people don't believe me because I get around so well, or some people don't believe me because when I'm in familiar places, I don't really use my cane because I know the place pretty well. So we've been walking around this neighborhood for a year and a half, so I don't use my cane to walk around here because I know the sidewalks, So, but I know she didn't believe me and I felt bad. I said if I saw her again, that I would just let her know, hey ma'am, I wasn't trying to be rude and my dog peeing or pooping in your grass. I genuinely didn't see it because she was like, oh ma'am. And then she went over there and looked and she said, well, it's tiny, but it's in there somewhere. That's what she said when she went to look in the grass. And I'm like, woman, if you can't see it, I definitely can't see it. But she didn't know, she didn't understand, she didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't upset at the lady. I was more so upset at the fact that she waited until I walked all the way down the street and came all the way back. And then she wants to say something to me from across the street. So that's the main thing that I was upset with. I'm used to people not believing that I'm legally blind. I'm used to it, even though it sucks because they expect legally blind people to look a certain way, walk a certain way, only be able to do certain things. And so, yeah, that's how she was. And so now when I walk past her house, I'm like, if I ever see her again, I'll just apologize to her and try to explain to the best of my ability. But I don't like having to prove that I'm legally blind. Like, what is that? I'm not doing that. But I will apologize to the lady because I know it upset her. And I do know that, you should pick up after your dog. I always have a bag. That day, I actually even didn't have a bag. I didn't have one because sometimes I'll forget to put one in my pocket. And so I appreciated her giving me one, but I didn't know it was like, hey, come over here and pick up your dog's poop. I didn't know it was like that. So not only was I not able to pick it up, but I kept her bag and kept on walking. So it's like, dang, but it wasn't like that. So it's tough. It's tough being visually impaired. It's tough being legally blind. A blind person, people understand a little more. You know what I'm saying? Because they could see that. Come on, are we crossing the street? Sometimes this girl just be lollygagging. She don't know what she want to do. So it's come out the street now. So it's easier for people to understand when you see a blind person walking down the street. Like if my husband was walking my dog, people might understand a little more. Okay, he can't see, you know, and they might try to help him out. But me having some vision, it's like, you're using this as an excuse. This is not true. Even sometimes my family, because there are some things that I can see, and then there may be some things that I can't see, my family is confused, and they even sometimes accuse me of being able to see. You know, some days my light perception and things might be a little better, and sometimes I'm surprised at what I can see, but I can't explain it. I can't explain, hey, I could see this now, but you know, yesterday I couldn't see it, or hey, it seems like I'm able to find things a little better today than I was yesterday. I don't know if I'm just having a lucky day or what, but sometimes I do better with being able to see than other times. So it's tough, and it's hard to explain how you can see but you can't see at the same time. And so I just let it be, you know. It is what it is. Either people believe me or they don't. I don't have a reason to lie about this. I would never want to be legally blind. I'm thankful that my son is not legally blind. He's not blind in any kind of way. And, you know, but this is my life, you know. This is how it is. And then even growing up, kids understood people that were blind, even though blind people get picked on too. I'm not trying to say that, oh, blind people have it so much easier because people don't pick on them. No, blind people get bullied too. They get made fun of too. But my situation was a little more difficult because I had to wear a certain type of glasses. I had to read things, put things close to my face to read. I had to use a telescope to read the board from my seat. There were so many things that I had to do that children didn't understand, and they made fun of me, you know. So it was tough. It's just as tough being visually impaired as it is being blind, you know. But it's tougher when people think that you're faking. But you just know how to maneuver and know how to still do things in spite of your condition. And that's the way people should want people to be. You shouldn't expect people to be, oh, I'm blind, I can't do nothing, I need people to do everything for me. It shouldn't be like that. You should be proud of people who are legally blind and totally blind, and they're still able to do for themselves. Instead of accusing them of faking. Who wants this life? Who wants this? I mean, come on. Let's be real here. Nobody wants to be in a wheelchair. Nobody wants to be paralyzed. Nobody wants to be blind. Nobody wants to be deaf. Nobody wants to not be able to speak. I mean, come on. And people who do pretend these things for attention or whatever, shame on them. Shame, 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 shame. But, you know, we're not out here faking this. This is real. And it's hard to explain to people that I can see, but I can't see at the same time. That is so tough. So, you know, I know that there are probably some people out there that can relate to my story and my life of being legally blind but not totally blind, but still being considered blind. It's like, how does that work? Well, it's a thing, and it's real, and there's people out here like this. Everybody who's legally blind or blind, their eyes don't look the same. Some people have normal, regular eyes. Their eyes, you know, are perfectly fine, but they just can't see out of them. The issue is going on in the inside of the eye. You know what I'm saying? You can't always see that someone is visually impaired or blind. until you see them, react or interact or whatever they do. That's the way that you'll be able to tell. But yeah, don't judge a book by its cover all the time. Because I could tell you that lady, when I was walking Princess, she did not believe me. She thought I was faking. Like, faking because I didn't want to pick up the dog's poop. Like, man. When I pick up my dog's poop a lot, I have no problem with doing that. But sometimes I just can't see it. Like I said, I would even put my hand in the bag, feel around on the grass, and try to see if I run into her poop. And sometimes I don't. So it's like, oh, well, maybe she didn't poop, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I do what I can to the best of my ability. I don't use me being visually impaired as an excuse to not do what everybody else has to do. You know? So, but yeah, it's tough, guys. It's tough when you've lived this way your whole life and people think you faking. I'm faking this for 42 years, 43 years. I'm 43 now. 43 years I'm faking being legally blind. And I don't, like I said, I don't use my cane all the time. When I'm in a familiar place, like now walking down my street, I don't use my cane. I use my cane when I'm in crowds, when it's an unfamiliar place, and when it's dark, of course. If I don't have anyone that can help, that I'm walking with, that's sighted, yeah, I'll use my cane. And sometimes when my husband's using his cane and I'm trying to lead him, and that's another thing too, when people see me leading my husband around, they assume that I'm completely sighted, but no. I just use what I have to help both of us. And that's what it is. I use what I have to help both of us. So sometimes I do have to take my cane with me so that people can see, okay, she's legally blind, she has a cane. But, I'm leading my husband around, so they don't quite understand how she leading this man. Because I have some sight, and to the best of my ability, I try. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to not use the sight that I have. I'm going to use everything that I have to get around and do everything I need to do. And then if I need help, then I'll get help. But yeah, for the most part, I do guide my husband. And I only have one eye that I can see out of. Sorry, I'm taking my gloves off. I only have one eye that I can see out of, guys. But I use it to the best of my ability because we don't always have help. I don't always have help to say, okay, well, you lead Trey and I'll follow you. I don't always have that. So I have to do what I have to do to help both of us. And in that way, it does not look like I'm legally blind because I'm helping the blind person. So it's tough, you guys, but this is my story of why people think that I'm lying about being legally blind. But I just don't feel like I should have to prove. Why should I have to prove? I don't even know how to prove to someone because they see what they see. And that's it. So I don't know what else to say or how to prove it, but there is a such thing as being legally blind, and you can see a little bit. And even with the little vision I have, I do try to help others. I'm not going to sit here and, oh, well, I want people to know I'm legally blind too, so let me not help people who can't see at all. No, I got friends that I grew up with. When we go out, I help them too. Even though I can't see everything, I try to the best of my ability to help my friends when we go out together. So it is what it is. I use what I have and I use it to the best of my ability, and that's that. So I guess that's it, guys. I don't know. I didn't have like any kind of notes or anything to go along with this video. I just was like, let me just talk from the heart and just say, the stuff that I deal with, and people just forget. Oh yeah, like when people are riding down the street and they beep their horn at me and I don't look back, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? wave because I don't know who it is, then they think I'm acting funny. It's like I always have to express to people, well, you know, I can't see that well. Even people who've known me for a long time, I have to keep telling them I can't see that well. And that's why I didn't see you, or that's why I didn't wave at you, or that's why when you were in the room and I walked past you and didn't say anything, I didn't see you. You know, so it sucks. It's tough. It's tough being legally blind and people not understanding how you see and what you can see and what you can't see. I don't get upset with them because they don't understand. All they know is either you can see or you can't. They don't understand the in between. So, but it's a struggle sometimes because I get tired of having to tell people, well, hey, I can't see that well. That's why I didn't do this. Or, hey, I can't see that well. That's why I didn't see you across the room. Or, hey, I can't see your face. That's why I walked past you and I didn't know. People have to know that you got to say, hey, Santina. And it's not because I just want you to speak to me. No, it's because I can't see you. I can't see people's eyes, nose, and mouth. You know what I'm saying? I can't see people's, like I could see people's body frames and things like that. Like people that I'm around all the time, I could probably pick them out of a crowd if I walk up to them. But people that I don't see on a day-to-day basis, my brain does not know you like that to just be able to look at your silhouette and say, oh, that's Trey. You know what I'm saying? When I see my husband, I know how he walks. I know how he, how his body moves or whatever. I know when I see my son, even the back of his head, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Michael, because I know him. I know his body structure. I know how tall he is. I know how he moves. So that's different. But if you're somebody I don't see every day, I'm not going to be able to pick you out of a crowd and say, oh, there's such and such. And one thing that helps me is if I see somebody else call someone like, hey, Michael, and then Michael answers and I see, okay, Michael has on a red shirt today. So I know that that's Michael. So when I see that red shirt, I know that's Michael. That's kind of how I memorize people in a setting for that day. That's just for that day. The next time I see you, I'm going to have to try to figure out, okay, Rose, she has on a pink shirt with flowers because somebody called her and she answered. So that's Rose. So now I know when I see that shirt, that's Rose. We have certain ways that we try to remember things and remember people, but it's tough, because I don't want people to think that I'm ignoring them. I don't want people to think that, I don't care about them. I just don't see you. I'm sorry. I don't see you. I try to the best of my ability to figure out who people are, but I can't a lot of times. So yeah, that's my struggle, guys. And, if you understand where I'm coming from, put it in the comments. Let me know what's up. What's your story? How was your life around people and meeting people and all that stuff? So I guess that's it. I done got home. I'm getting ready to take my coat off and take Doggy's coat and stuff off. Where's she at? Oh, there she is. She still got her stuff on because we just walked in the door. But I'm getting ready to take our stuff off and prepare for the rest of the day. And I guess that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and watch all the videos. And follow on Facebook, follow on TikTok, subscribe to YouTube, and we'll be so grateful. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next video. Love you, fam bam. Bye.